What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of the best at-home quarterback drills that you can do that do not require a lot of space and do not require wide receivers. So I hope this video helps you out. Let's get started. But also, fellas, if you're a quarterback and you would like to train with us this offseason, we're going to be traveling out to 9 more states across the U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver camps. Next up on our camp tour, we're going to be coming out to St. Louis, Missouri. Then we'll be heading out to Honolulu, Hawaii, Boston, Massachusetts, Cleveland, Ohio, Austin, Texas. Then we'll be coming out to Seattle, Washington, Newark, New Jersey, Denver, Colorado, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to one of those cities and would like to train with us for 2 whole days, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out to one of our off-season camps. Let's get back to this video. Alright guys, so I'm filming this video in my garage. We don't have a lot of space in this garage, maybe about 10 yards I would say. It's raining outside, can't get to a field. This is a situation that so many quarterbacks have across the country, and a lot of people use it as an excuse. They go, oh, the weather, I'm not able to work out, oh, I can't get to a field, I'm not able to work out, and they use it as an excuse. There are always things that you can be doing to get better, especially at the quarterback position. So that's what I'm going to be showcasing to you guys today with these drills. So I'm going to explain how the drill is going to benefit you in a live game scenario, and then I'm going to explain the drill, obviously, and then I'm going to show you a full speed example of the drill. So the first drill we're going to be talking about is something called a straight jacket. So this straight jacket is going to work on your guys' throwing sequence. So when you guys go to throw, there's 3 parts of your throwing sequence. Number 1, the first part is going to be your front stride. So everybody knows as a quarterback, we don't want to take a real big, long front stride. We want to take a short stride. We want to get that front foot down in the grass. As it's in the grass, your upper body needs to load. You want to take the football back. You want to slightly rotate your shoulders. So now the next part of the throwing sequence, which is step 2, is that transfer of weight. You have your weight loaded on your back leg, you step, you keep your weight loaded so you can rotate, and that transfer, get those hips to rotate through. Now when those hips rotate through, that should happen before the ball and before my shoulders come through, which is the last part of the throwing sequence, the follow through, the shoulders and the ball coming through. So it's stride, hips, and then shoulders. That's how you're able to generate power, consistency, and honestly just be a more efficient passer. So the reason why that's important is that if you have a flawed throwing sequence, that's where a lot of the inconsistencies could happen. You could start missing high, missing low, missing left, missing right, and losing velocity. A big one that a lot of quarterbacks will do is that they'll take a step with their front foot, but their upper body will open same time they take a step with that front foot. So when you guys start to spread and you guys lift the ball to 90, I know a lot of quarterbacks like that. What happens is your front foot gets down, maybe your weight's back, maybe it's not, and guys will have their shoulders come through before their hips. So you're not rotating. Your power, your rotational force, much like a baseball player, a golfer, comes from your hips and it comes from your legs. You need to be able to transfer weight so those hips can rotate through. But if you don't have that, if your shoulders are coming through before your hips do, that's a problem because now your rotation is on your upper half. So for accuracy, what you have to do is you keep a disciplined front side. And I'm gonna tie this in, trust me. So when you guys throw, you want to try to keep your hand up by your face and your shoulders level, right? That's the spot that you want to be. You keep your hand somewhere in this range, but that keeps your release inside your frame. Now, when you're not rotating from your hips and you throw like this, that's very, very hard. And that's why a lot of old school quarterback coaches used to teach the method of pull the elbow down as a source of power because they weren't using their hips in the first place. So yeah, it's going to give you power, but your release point is going to fly off of something called the midline. The midline is an imaginary body that goes down imaginary line that goes down the middle of your body. So if you dip your head out, what happens to your arm? Your arm flies off the midline. You pull your elbow down. What happens? The arm goes up. And all of that happens. The front shoulder swinging open, arm widening, all of those inconsistencies happen because quarterbacks aren't using their hips. So this drill gets you comfortable with your hips bringing your upper body through on the throw. That's why they call this the straight jacket, because your shoulders are a non-factor. So the reason why they call it that is your hands are going to be literally like you're in a straight jacket. I don't know if y'all have seen, like a crazy person in like a insane asylum or something like that. They put them in a jacket so they don't hurt themselves. Like that's where I want your hands to be. So they're going to be crossed across your shoulders. All we are going to be doing is you're going to take a step with your front foot. As you step in the straight jacket, you're going to rotate your shoulders back. So step, rotate the shoulders back. Your weight stays loaded on the back leg. Then, after you step, you're going to transfer your weight and drag the back foot through to get your hips to rotate. But the hips have to bring the shoulders through. I don't want you guys doing this ripping the shoulders, because that's no different than me throwing and ripping my shoulders through before my hips. Let's get my hips to clear before my shoulders do, to rep out this good mechanical motion without having to throw a million passes, putting all this pressure on my arm. This is an easy drill you can do that puts no pressure on your arm. So you're going to be here. All we're doing again, step, hips rotate, and the shoulders just come through nice and quiet. I'll show you again. Step, hips rotate through. Go back, step, hips rotate through. I'm going to show you how that's going to look full speed with some movement here in a second. This is a great drill you can do every day in your room if you need to. That's going to help you guys with your throwing sequence. All right, guys, so this next drill we're going to be talking about is a great drill to help with your back leg getting into a correct position to be able to generate that power from your hips and have that good throwing sequence that we were just talking about. So like, let's say, for example, let's say I'm dropping back on a pass, and let's say I'm throwing like a quick, let's say it's a quick slant, right? So like I'm throwing a quick slant, let's say it's to the left, I catch the snap, I'm taking a one-step drop and letting it fly from shotgun. So obviously, we know with my throwing sequence, set, go, one step, what do we want to happen first? We want the front stride to get down, then we want the hips to rotate through, and then we want the shoulders and the ball to rotate through. Now, one of the biggest mistakes, like I said in the last drill, that a lot of quarterbacks have is that when they step with the front foot, they'll open. Now, the second biggest mistake I would say that a lot of quarterbacks have is that their back foot does not set them up into a position to get their hips to rotate through second in the throwing sequence, right? So guys will go back, set, go, they start to throw, and they leave all kinds of weight onto their front side, and their back foot is outside of their frame. So when they go to throw, yeah, they'll step, but when all your weight is forward, that prevents you from being able to rotate your shoulders back, and also it prevents your hips from rotating because your weight has essentially already transferred. So when your weight's already transferred, you have no back hip drive, you have no leg drive, so you resort to the elbow pull, the head dip as any kind of power just to get the ball there, right? And that's a natural habit that a lot of guys have. So this drill helps us get comfortable because when you guys catch that one step, you guys should be here. We should have back foot under my hip, back foot under your armpit, whatever helps you think about it, and we should be light on the front foot. Because now when I take a step, but I stay here under my frame, now I can get my hips to rotate through. When you're wide, you can't get your hips to rotate through. So this drill helps with that. So this is a simple drill. I have all my quarterbacks do this. This is called a one-legged hop. So a one-legged hop, it's exactly how it sounds. You're hopping on one leg, but you're hopping backwards. So you need maybe, honestly, I do this with my guys for about 10 yards, but you need maybe, honestly, 5. You just go up and back if you want to get that 10. So all you're doing, you need a football. Make sure you keep 2 hands on the football at all times. All we are doing is just going to hop to strengthen that single leg. If you feel like you're falling down, just readjust yourself with your front foot, then get back to one foot. Hop again and try to stick it. Try to keep your shin straight. Now, why do we try to do this? We do this because if you land wide while you're doing a one-legged hop, let me show you. Watch what happens. You land wide, all your weight goes forward, right? You land under your frame, what can happen? I'm more balanced. I could sit under my frame. And that's how you want to play it. It strengthens the exact position that we need to get to on a one-step drop, on a 3-step drop, when we hitch up onto a throw. It gets us comfortable there. A lot of guys just lack strength in that position, so they physically can't get there. But this drill is a great way to build that strength and get you more comfortable with it. I'm going to show you how it's going to look full speed. All right, guys, so now one of the best things that quarterbacks can do when they're limited on space is get reps in with a towel. So you guys have probably seen either myself work with the towel, or you guys have probably seen a million other quarterback coaches across the country have their guys throw with towels. Now, do I think every single quarterback coach knows what they're doing with the towel? Absolutely not. Towels, and a lot of times guys just do it just because they saw it somewhere, just because it looks cool. You guys work with the towel to emphasize extension and to get reps without putting stress on your arm. And the reps are for your mechanics. So let's talk about the towel for a sec. So when you guys hold the towel, you guys want to try to put your middle finger over the towel and these 3 other fingers tucked underneath it, right? So that's the position that we want to try to get to. You don't want to hold the towel like this. I see a lot of people doing that. When you guys throw with the towel in your palm, you're not getting to an extension point. point. When you guys throw a football, what are you trying to do with your wrist? You're trying to snap your wrist through, right? So when you guys have your middle finger over the top of the towel, that allows you to actually snap and get a whip to that towel. So that's how you hold the towel. Do never hold it with your palm like this. That is incorrect, and that is building bad habits. And you see a lot of guys doing that. That is incorrect. So now, when you guys go through with this towel work, you guys need to hear that whip of the towel. A lot of times guys will do towel work and they're just here, and they're short arming everything. You guys should hear this towel like you have a wet towel, you're trying to whip somebody. You should hear it snap through. That's the extension point that we're trying to work on, okay? Now, with the towel, there's a million drills you can do. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. You can do any drill that you would do on the field with a towel. It's no stress on your arm. You're throwing all mechanics. You're not worrying about the result of the ball. You can focus on having the correct base and having the correct sequence like we talked about in the last two examples. Now I'm going to give you something that I would do with the towel that really, really helped me out mentally, but not only that, it helped me in an actual live game situation because I got a million reps on it. As a quarterback, you only have a set amount of throws, right? I don't care how good your mechanics are. You're probably capped out 100, 150 throws. It's probably time to stop, right? At the absolute max, right? I know a lot of younger guys, it's probably a lot less than that. But with the towel, it's pretty much unlimited. You could probably do as much as you want with the towel. You shouldn't feel it in the elbow and the shoulder at all if you're doing it correctly. So something I would do is I'd get my playbook, right? So I would go through every single play and I would map out the progressions, and I would do it with my eyes closed. You don't have to do it with your eyes closed, but it helped me kind of visualize things, visualize the defense, etc. But you could do it with your eyes open totally fine. So let's say, for example, we have a play like a smash concept, right? So what a smash concept is we have a hitch on the outside and the slot receiver is running a corner, right? So that's a great cover two beater concept. And this is simple. I would do this with every coverage. Okay, when are we going to probably call that? We got that when it's against cover two, or we like it against man, right? And I'll explain the man one in a second. So cover two, we got two high safeties. They got the deep halves. Corners are sitting in the flats. So you're going to go back. Your eyes are closed, eyes are open, whatever. And you're going to go through it. You take a one-step drop. Your read is the corner. Corner backs up. We hit the hitch. So I would map out that footwork with the towel. I'd be here. I'd take a one step. I'd see it. Okay, throw. Now, what's the other read? And in cover two, most likely this is what would happen. You go back. Corner crashes. Okay, I reset. And I simulate like I'm throwing an actual corner route. I like it against man coverage, or let's say we see it's man. Maybe it's cover zero, getting a ton of pressure. I got my guy out of the slot who's pretty fast. My footwork changes. It's probably just a quick little shuffle hitch, and I throw. I would visualize that, and I would map out the footwork over and over and over again till it was engraved into my mind. And that, honestly, I'm going to tell you this right now, was probably one of the most beneficial things that I ever did as a quarterback, was doing that specific drill. Not the million off platform. You see all these stupid arm angle throws that they have these people doing nowadays. Not that. Mapping out actual live game realistic things you could do. You fellas, I did this in my room, I did this in my backyard, any type of space that you have that's within 3 yards. That's all you need. And when you could go through those progressions and you see it over and over again in your mind, when you step out onto a field, it's not second nature. It is second nature. It's not a foreign language to us. We could just rip it and roll because we've seen it over and over again. Yes, you need actual reps of the football. This is probably the next best thing, but this helped my mental side of the game so much. I was so prepared. My feet were second nature. I didn't have to worry about anything on the field. I just had to worry about doing my job and making the right reads.